Hi friends, it's Jenny. Welcome to my garden, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you have not yet hit the bell icon, please do so and you'll get notified anytime I post the video. I am finally getting around to posting the end of June garden update. I've delayed it as long as I could. It's June 30th. Some things are looking rough, you guys. I have had to pull about a dozen plants out of the ground that have succumbed to heat, drought, or spider mites, and we've had 21 days without rain. So it's been a struggle in the garden, but some things are looking pretty, so let's get to it, and I will show you what's happening. We'll start here because I love this little cone flower. This is called a double scoop. It's technically red, but it's very much a pink color. I love it, and the yellow finch love the cone flowers. This one is a winner for sure. Down here I have some little coleus that I've started from seed and some coreopsis. But guys, they're struggling just to stay alive. This is lantana as well as this. It was struggling, but it seems to have just decided to kick in the last few days. And it's looking good. The lavender is about done. I should probably harvest that if I'm going to dry any of it. This tall, gangly mess here, I had thought was a cleome or spider flower, but now it is not that. I believe this is a gara, also known as a whirling butterfly, but I just don't love it. The pollinators love it. Bees and butterflies have been on it all day, but it doesn't really have a shape, and it's just wispy, so I may move it. I may just pull it all together. The petunias, guys, we talked about these in the last garden tour. They were struggling, and I was very upset because I paid good money for Proven Winners petunias, but look at them. Look how wonderful they look. They are giant. I'm not having to deadhead them. This one is one that was basically completely dead, and it is thriving, so I love it. I love it, I love it. This plant, the evening primrose, that's also the evening primrose. The deer got into the yard and ate both of those, but they have bounced back. I have yet to come out here at night at 9 o'clock and sit and watch one open, but I am going to do that, and I'll get a video of it for you. I can't wait. They pop open like really quickly, and you can watch it, so that'll be exciting. Anywho, we have zinnias here. If you see all of these things popping up, this is salvia that I planted last year, and it has just reseeded itself. My pretty little hanging baskets, these are calibrachoas. I decided to put orange and purple together this year, and I love it. Looks good. On here's another lavender. It's about done. I should maybe harvest some of that, make some sachets. I'm just waiting for the poppy seeds to dry up the rest of the way so that I can collect the seeds. I'll probably throw down a few zinnia seeds in here. This looks ugly, but I've got to wait another probably 7 or 10 days to harvest those seeds. I don't want to cut them too early. We have a balloon flower here. One of my favorite flowers. Look how the different stages of when it's opening. I just think it's magnificent. Very easy to grow from seed, guys. They are a perennial, so they're not going to bloom all season long like an annual will, but you'll get 6 or 8 hard weeks of blooms out of these, so it's definitely worth it. Look how fun. Coreopsis here is looking good, guys. They've been blooming for at least 6 weeks now. I have been coming out every couple of days and just deadheading a little bit, but they're going strong. They look good. The lilac's doing good, guys. I'm so happy. I can't wait till these guys bloom. If you don't know, Brian and I bought the lilac bushes in Mackinac Island, of which we're going in a couple of weeks back to Mackinac. So that's going to be exciting. I'll try to maybe do some garden tours there and make some videos for you. The gardens there are fantastic. Here we have a dahlia finally coming up. This is a dahlia that we purchased when we were in Holland, Michigan. Looks like it's got a few spider mites. I'll have to take care of that. I have a cone flower back here. This is a phlox. You guys saw these blooming profusely in the last video, but they were done, so I've cut them back and they're starting to put a few more flowers on. Here, this is just Sweet William that will not bloom until next year, so we're just gonna look at this pretty lush green foliage. Here we have a yellow double scoop coneflower. It's doing really good. I love that the coneflowers can stand the heat. And here, guys, we have some marigolds and some cosmos. I think this is a flaxseed. A lot of things that we direct sowed. A lot of seeds back here. There's some sunflowers coming up. So it looks like weeds, but it's not. There's another little dahlia coming up. And of course, in the back, we've got coneflower, 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 coneflower. We have another dahlia here. I feel like at the end of the month is always the lull, waiting for the first of the month to roll around so more things can start blooming. Here's another coreopsis. The creeping thyme, guys, it's so nice. It is a bit invasive, but it really is pretty when it blooms. Pollinators love it. It's real easy to pop a chunk somewhere, anywhere that you want to fill in a little hole. You can walk on it. You can cook with it. It's nice. Here's a little rose bush that's not doing too bad. This dirt is really not ideal for roses, but some are doing okay. Here is a dahlia planted far too close to a coneflower, but I love it anyway. That's going to be a pretty dahlia when it opens. How exciting. Here, guys, this little patch is called Obedient Plant. I moved this from my front yard where it's taking over, so I hope that it will spread and do the same thing here. This puts up a tall spike of pink flowers, which the hummingbirds absolutely love. Here behind the bird bath is another patch of Sweet William. A few of them bloomed this year. A lot of these are not going to bloom until next year, but we sit and wait, and we're hopeful. Here's a bunch of zinnias. I did pinch them yesterday, so we're delaying blooms by a few weeks, but that's going to cause them to branch and give us a lot more flowers. This coneflower that is a little bit shorter, this is called the powwow berry, powwow punch, powwow pink, something powwow. Anyway, it's much brighter pink than the traditional echinacea coneflower. And of course, the bumblebees have been all over it all day long. Here is another little phlox that I thought was not going to make it, but it has managed to hang on somehow. So I'm thankful for that. Another pretty coneflower. This one is taller than my waist and doing really well. There's another one. So exciting. I'm going to back up here. Hopefully I won't fall off the wall. So here's the lantana that we were looking at when we were down there earlier. And here in front of the lantana, this is white Obedient Plant. You can see how it kind of puts a spike of flowers up. And I hope that this will spread as readily as the pink did, because I want to fill in this patch. The yarrow, guys, is looking so pretty. I hope this will focus in. I am amazed at the detail that is on each and every little tiny flower on the yarrow. They look great. Here, guys, I have 6 blanket flower. I have not had a chance to get them in the ground, and I want to wait till maybe there's a chance of rain in the forecast because they just won't handle transplant very well. I rescued these from Walmart for $4 a piece. They're perennials, and they work pretty much like a native plant. They should not mind the bad clay soil, so I'm glad to have those for a reasonable price. I want to show you right here and here. I purchased 2 evening primrose. They are a pretty little delicate pink flower, and these will spread readily. There are a few houses up the street that have evening primrose, and it's basically taking over, and I just love it. Guys, I've been really busy. Sorry for the camera. I almost tripped and fell, so we'll pretend I did not do that. I have planted here on either side a speedwell and a salvia. I have pulled the pansies from the rusted buckets. They were done. The heat had them just done for, and so I will be replacing those with petunias. These sweet peas guys, they died. The heat got them. They were doing so well, growing up the trellis. They were covered in buds, and I was so excited they were going to bloom. But it looks like I am not lucky, so we try again next year. I have gladiolus here, and also here. I think we're probably 6 weeks away from seeing any flowers on those, but the greenery looks good and healthy, and the lilies look amazing, guys. Look how many blooms. These bulbs are from Longfield Garden. I will forever order from them. Their stuff is great. My milkweed did bloom this year, guys, and butterflies were all over it. I don't see any eggs, but that's okay. I do see some seed pods. Right there's a seed pod. So that's neat. I'll collect the seeds and make sure to sow more of this. We know the butterflies love milkweed, and there's far too little of it left anywhere anymore. So I'm going to grow as much of it as I can. Let's see. Got daylilies are budding up here and here and there. And I think we do. We have a few daylilies in the fence line over here as well. All of the onions have mostly been harvested. I've got just a few that are hanging on. They haven't folded their necks over, so I'm leaving them. Pretty happy with my onion harvest this year. I have removed the lid off of this. This is where my lettuce and spinach goes, but it's bolted, of course, because of heat. So I've planted sweet peppers in here. The potato vines are mostly dead, which they should be this time of year. So I'll let those die back completely, and I'll be digging those soon. Let's see. The pretty little fence line, guys, with all the coreopsis. It looked so nice, but this is where the deer busted through. So we've got to get on the neighbor's side of the fence to repair this little hole. I put some pie plates here. I know it's ugly, but you got to keep the deer out. What are you going to do? But I'm so happy with this fence line. These black-eyed Susies and all the coreopsis, they're so pretty. And I really do hope that they'll reseed themselves for next year. There's so many different types, shapes, sizes, colors. I love it. Of course, it looked a lot better before the deer trampled through it. Guys, I do have to restack the wall back here. Of course, we know there's an issue in our yard with old rock walls, so we'll be working on that. But I've got this squared away. These are the 3 hydrangea bushes, or actually 1 hydrangea bush and 3 little chunks that broke off of it from my mom's house. And around it, I have planted celosia and Jacob's coat amaranth, and then some coleus. So we'll just watch these fill in. The coleus are very pretty. All different patterns and colors, sizes. I'm very excited about the Jacob's coat amaranth. Look at the color on the leaves. Isn't that groovy? So neat. So everything in here seems to be pretty happy. I'm not going to walk into the garden, but I will poke through and show you here. We've got cucumbers going along the fence here. We have tomatoes. They're starting to bloom. And then we have a few more peppers. I'm ready for some rain. The peppers and the tomatoes like the heat, but they need some water. We need some rain, God. All right, here quickly is where I'm going to be putting the raspberry vines. These I dug from my mom's backyard, so I've been working to get this area prepped. I'll try to get that finished this week. I have harvested the cabbage and the purple cauliflower from back here and have replaced it with hot peppers, ghost peppers, fatali peppers, Anaheim, Dirksen. That's a new heirloom variety I've never tried before. Then we have 2 giant sweet peppers. This is Golden Treasure and Yellow Monster. These are supposed to be really good for stuffing, so I'm excited about that. Strawberries are just kind of hanging out, doing their thing. They're done for the year. So we sit and wait until next year. I'm working to get some soil amended right here in front of this headstone flower bed. I'd like to get this ready to put some tulip bulbs in. We've got a lot of tulip bulbs coming in the fall, so I'm trying to plan now as to where I'm going to put them all. I need to come back here and deadhead these Sweet William. You can see the seed pods. And I just usually will break it off and sprinkle it like that. And you can see it works because there's tons of them coming up. If you're not growing Sweet William, guys, you should. It's beautiful. All right, one more quick thing, guys, to show you, and we'll call it quits for this June garden tour. Here is the makeshift shade garden that I'm working on. There's a lot of stuff coming up from just the seeds that we scattered. But I have started picking up some other plants. I have 2 really pretty heucheras. They almost look black. Purple on the underside. They're so pretty. And 4 hostas. So I rescued these from Walmart for $4 a piece also. And I'll work to get those plugged in here. So we'll have another actual true flower bed that's coming to shape. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you for bearing with me through all my struggles and my lack of rain. Drop me a comment. Leave me something positive. June is usually my favorite month of gardening, but it's been a struggle this time. Hope you're doing well. Hope you all have a happy 4th of July, and I'll see you in a couple weeks for a mid-July garden tour. Take care.